And what is good? What is good, everybody? Yes, this is me, KazamaFury, with the Late Night Boys, doing a test stream right here with the new microphone, the newer 700. So, everybody tell me what's going on tonight. Alright, I'm not going to be here long. I'm just doing a test stream here. Testing out everything, make sure everything is running alright with this new microphone. I don't know, I just watched Nemesis give one of his most passionate speeches about Resident Evil and his passion for the franchise, and it just makes me think, that's right, there's definitely like a gag order. You can't even say the name Shinji Mikami, which makes me think, yeah, it's definitely. Remember, the first 4 of the games were pretty much his brainchild. 4 was pretty much the new blueprint to Resident Evil, and then they just kicked them out the door. They just rounded up everybody in Clover Studios, and boom, they're gone. That's Hideki Kamiya, Shinji Mikami, Kaiji Inafune, you know him, the godfather of Mega Man. So, I mean, it's ridiculous, but as I'm doing this test mic, I'm testing this new mic, as you can see in front of me. So if you're listening, let me know if the sound's coming in right, because I gotta make some adjustments. And good morning or good evening, depending on your time zone. How's everything going, everyone? Oh man. So, I mean, as this past day, I know I gotta get sleep. I gotta get up in the morning in a few hours. So I'm not gonna be long with this. Tester, 1, 2, 3, pop. Goes the weasel. Let's see how this goes. That's much more rich in the sound, isn't it? Right? Because it's a pop filter. I just want to angle it to a location where it's not too much in the camera. I don't know, maybe that's better. So, I'm gonna keep this one short. As for my day, as for what's been going on in my life, when it comes to the world of gaming, I've been very far removed from Resident Evil. And I really love the franchise, but watching Nemesis just a moment ago give his passionate speech about how they are trying to just shit on the legacy of Shinji Mikami. It's definitely true. Now I look at the remake in an all-new perspective, and what I need right now is to find out exactly what's the status, what it look like, and if I don't find out by E3, fuck it. I really don't know what to say. And the only thing they can fucking tell me at E3 is that here's the gameplay footage finally. Here's something finally coming out on the 21st anniversary, January 20th, 2019. That's the only motherfucking thing I want to hear right now. I don't know about you. I don't know about anybody else. That's all I want to hear right now when it comes to the Resident Evil. The date, gameplay, something visual. Because it's been too fucking long. This is why I haven't been really talking about it. I pretty much set that standard to myself, and I hope that other people do. Like, cause you already know, go check my video catalog about anything Resident Evil related, even about fucking 7 if you want to, and you'll see. All we need is something, and then it's always some little kiss ass that comes from the Capcom cockstroking farm, and they like, well, Capcom can do what they want. They can take it as long as they want. Blah 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 blah. This 3 years. It's been nearly 3 years, and you haven't shown us shit. You know, if you're gonna take time with the project, let us know what's going on. Like, case in point, Hideo Kojima. We know that Death Stranding is far along in its production, but he's a perfectionist, and he's not gonna put out something half-assed. Not while he's on his own, because that's what Konami made him do with Part 5. You know? That's why they knew they were wrong for doing that shit. They knew they were wrong. You know, you feel all that came up with side missions. You cut out the entire Act 3, even though Act 3 is advertised in the game. You cut the whole shit out, Konami. And Mission 51, showing us video of Mission 51 was the biggest slap in the fucking face that they can give us as fans of the Metal Gear game. Now, as for how I feel about Metal Gear Solid 5, I love the game. I think it's one of the best playing Metal Gear Solid games I've ever played when it comes to the game mechanics and stuff. I know the open world is very limited. It's all either grassland or it's all desert. Nothing more. They could have done a lot more with that. They could have at least did city. Wow. Think about this. Think about being in the lands of Africa, and then being in the deserts of the Middle East where you were, and then imagine being in like a city area. Like, I don't know what, in that region, you got the Middle East, you got Africa, and you could have went with maybe someplace in Asia, I don't know. But there was so much wasted potential and so much wasted potential in general with that game. And we know that. If you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid 5, you know it was a lot of wasted potential in that game. You know, gameplay alone ain't going to be enough to save it sometimes. Even though people were giving it masterpiece reviews, and I'm like, it's good, but it could have been a lot better. You know? And we all know it's not Kojima's fault. We know that Kojima wanted to put so much into that game, but he needed time and resources. And Konami, a company that makes all this fucking money off of pachinko machines, did not want to spend the money. Look, even as is, look at how much the game sold. Look how much critical acclaim you got, and you still fired the man. You wouldn't even let him get award at the Video Game Awards on Spike TV. You even stopped him from getting that. How petty of a company is Konami? You know? Very, extremely petty. If you hear all the things about how they treat their employees, how they monitor your social media, you can't talk ill of them, but they mistreat you at the same time. Like, fuck that place, man. Like, I don't, it's like I try to take my mind off it. If it isn't Capcom fucking with Resident Evil and then holding the remake to the greatest Resident Evil ever made, you holding it for hostage. You're holding the status of the greatest Resident Evil the remake to the greatest Resident Evil. You're holding it for hostage, and how you think we supposed to feel about that? You know, why you think we got Nemesis feeling the way he do? How you doing, Totally Impact Gaming? How you doing? Why you think we got Nemesis feeling the way he do on his channel about it? You know, because your reputation from that, you had Shinji Mikami create the series. Yes, Shinji Mikami created the series just like Nemesis just said and stuff, but and then he reinvented the series, and then they fucking let him go. And then we had people take that formula and just add more action to it. Like, yeah, Resident Evil has always had action in it. Always. How do you think you killing hunters? How you think... There's an echo in my system. All right, I'm trying to get rid of that. All right, I'm really trying to get rid of that, okay? There's an echo in my system, so I don't know where that's coming from, but I gotta tweak the sounds with it. Thank you for telling me that. So let me try to get rid of that. I don't know why that's there. Even with the new, old and new microphone, it's a setting. Because even when I was doing streaming God of War, it was doing this echoing, and I don't know why. I'm trying to mess with the settings now to see why. But I still hear that echoing. Give me a moment, people. I don't know. Hello. Is it echoing now? Still? Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's put it in the middle and see what happens. It's still echoing, I know. I don't know how to get rid of that. Give me a second. Yeah, I know it's still an echo. I got the voice meter set in. Let me see. I'm going to voice meter. How about now? Can you hear me? It's still echoing. Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I'm gonna fix this by tomorrow. I'm about to go to bed and I'm like, I gotta go to work in the morning. I really don't want to go to work in the morning. I'm just tired. That's better? Which one? Leaving it the way it was? Or is this better? I don't know. How can you hear me? No echo? Alright. It's good? Oh, thank Lord. I think it was a setting with my voice meter. Because I'm still getting the hang of all this stuff. You know, I'm fairly new to all this games, this setup, this streaming and everything. So it's none? Alright, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for helping me with that. Because I figured that it was a setup, but I didn't know exactly what was causing it. It was a setting. So where was I? Okay, I was talking about Resident Evil and how Shinji Mikami actually reinvented the series with part 4, and then they fired his ass, and then 5 and 6 came, which was that formula, but they added action to it and put action on steroids with part 6.
I'm not saying that 6 is a totally terrible game. It wasn't, but it was far removed from what was started in part 4. 4 was had action, but it had like a more grounded, more centralized narrative. But I do see the ambition of what they were trying to do with 6. 6, they was trying to do like intertwining storylines, global terrorism, global bioterrorism. I get that, but 4 was more subtle. It was focused more on one character, like Leon. So yeah, the action and Ari. So the 4 was more contained. 5 was not as contained, but it's and then 6 was really not contained. And then we got Resident Evil 7, which was pretty much everybody else's shit with Resident Evil slapped on a fucking label. That's what I thought. And you know, I said it so many times, 7 is a bad Resident Evil game, but as it stands on its own, it's like, if it stands on its own, it would be a decent game. It'd be a ripoff of everything we see in indies horror. But to slap Chris Redfield into this game, to slap references to the game, to actually put Resident Evil in the title was fucking insulting. You know? It's an insult to the franchise. I don't know if you agree with me, but the more I think about it, the more I've been thinking about it, RE7 is an insult to the fucking franchise. Like, there's no other way I can get around that. A goddamn insult. Like, what? You telling me a 60-something% complete game, you made people wait almost a whole motherfucking year for downloadable content to finish the goddamn game, to finish the storyline of the game. First of all, why was the campaign as is so fucking short? Why is there so many holes in this game? Okay, like, what? Like, did we see? Why didn't we see Ethan? And don't start that shit, Capcom, talking about we wanted the player to be Ethan. You wanted us to be a bitch ass Ethan? Really? A guy that's clearly infected, but he had to choose between his psychotic bitch of a wife and the one that helped him. And in storyline mode, he actually chooses the psychotic bitch just because she's his wife. Who writes this shit? Like, really? I'm like, sorry, honey, you're gonna have to wait here. You cut my fucking hand off, which I don't understand that it works. I must be infected. But no, was that in the game? No, it wasn't. There's a part in the game where Jack cuts your fucking leg off and he gives you the whatever liquid and you put your shit back on and you pour this shit on a wound and it attaches. But Ethan is not worried about himself. He's worried about Mia and Zoe. You would think to test out the cure, he would test it out on himself. Or is he oblivious to the fact that he's infected? Like, he doesn't even mention it. He doesn't mention it at all. It makes no fucking sense to me. And that's not me picking the story apart. It says gaping is as gaping as a plot hole as Asa Akira's butthole after doing anal. It's just a gaping. It's gaping. Jesus. But no, I'm picking it apart. I'm being too busy. I'm being too picky. I'm like, fuck out of here. No. How'd they get infected? I have no goddamn idea. I think I don't know. I don't know how how'd they get infected? Like, did Mia pour blood into his system? Or did it happen when he was unconscious after Jack knocked him out and he woke up and they was trying to feed him human flesh? Somewhere between the fight with Mia and him waking up, he must have gotten infected. And why the fuck do I have to sit here and play detective when that shit should have been out? Like, we know that Nemesis and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis himself infected Jill and she fell ill. There was no mystery around it. No, not this game. It makes no sense. He shows all the attributes of being infected. Or when you find the documents and the whole about the limb thing, about attaching the limbs and growing and shit, and that working or growing them back. The hallucinations, all that. They show you everything, and it's like right there, like I'm waiting for them to put a sign up in the game that says, "You're infected, dumbass." Yeah, like, it clearly showed Nemesis and Jack, he wounded Jill and she got sick. Simple as that. You know? I mean, think about it. He killed Brad and Brad came back as a zombie in Resident Evil 2 under the steps, because this took place just before that point in Resident Evil 2. So we already know that Nemesis can infect people. I mean, shit, he's created with the T-virus. It's only natural that they will come back like that, you know? You know? Oh, boy. And, you know, something just popped up on my screen for my subscription box, like for the people I'm subscribed to. And you want to know another fandom that's really fucked up? The YouTube wrestling community. Yeah, I still watch pro wrestling. I know it's entertaining. It's matches and stuff. It's athleticism. I watched it since I was a child. Anyway, what's crazy about this is that everybody hates that Samoan dude, what's his name, Roman, saying he's being pushed down their throats. They sound like fucking children when it comes to this one man. I don't know how one man can evoke so much anger and hatred. Vince is doing this. I'm like, yo, come on now. This is why I like the athleticism of it and just watching the matches. But I can't be online talking about storylines. I can watch people give their reviews on it, but then I'm just like, bruh, come on now. Bruh, come on. Like, you really want to make real change? Fucking just tweet the people who are creative on the show instead of bitching and complaining about fucking Roman all the time. You know? That man gonna do what he needs to do to get a paycheck. But people talk about Liati Joseph Anawai, like they really hate him. Like they wish ill on him. And if you don't know who Liati Joseph Anawai is, that's Roman Reigns' real name. It's pathetic. Alright? And I'm not here marking for him. He's alright, you know, meaning like he ain't the greatest wrestler. He got ways to go, but he can perform in the ring. It's like Chris Jericho said. Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan said they never met a Samoan wrestler who was below good. And they said that about him. They just natural with it. Like like the hair grown men talk about this dude. And you'd be surprised that a lot of men will not stand behind him as a fan over his looks. Over his looks. I'm not even joking about that. He doesn't look like an underdog. Like I'm not saying this in a homosexual way, but he's a handsome dude. He's a handsome dude. And I'm like, bruh, come on. You know, I'm sorry if he ain't a GOAT like Daniel Bryan. And I'm glad Daniel Bryan's back. You know, they made him retire because of the concussions, but he got cleared. You know, he got cleared to return. Now he's back like he never left. That I do like. But then again, if they push Daniel Bryan down every throat, they push him down everybody else's throat, is people going to have the same complaints that they had with Reigns right now. You know, people hated John Cena. And it took them like over a decade to really appreciate him. And people are like, I don't know what's going on with it. But it's like, it takes away from me enjoying the show. Is most of the time Raw stupid? Yeah. It like Raw, the way they put on the show, it's like sometimes it's really dumb. But then I gotta listen to people try to dictate to me why I should hate it. I can spot for myself what I think is trash and what I don't think is trash. I can spot stuff about matches that I'm like, this match was alright. This match sucked. I thought this match was alright. But I gotta listen to certain people like, no, this match sucks. And this one here. And, and people will claim not to like Roman, but they will sit there and put them in their screen grabs. Boom. Screen grabs. So you can click on him because he gets that much buzz. Speaking the man's name and speaking ill about him will get people to fucking follow you. It's pathetic. Alright? You know, I speak against popular opinion when it comes to games. Look at Resident Evil. You know? People supposedly love Resident Evil 7. Not this motherfucker. Not me. Nope. Can't. And I'm going to speak out against it because it ain't nothing worse than the casual fan trying to tell you that you ain't like that. And it ain't nothing worse than sometimes a smart mark, like they call them in the wrestling community, trying to tell you because you like something that isn't considered what they call markish, that you're a casual fan. When I've been watching since I was a kid. You know, like, fuck this shit, bro. I ain't got time for that nonsense. So let me get off for the wrestling. I just had to get that off my chest because, like, I just see something pop up with somebody saying that they thought that because there was people booing Brock Lesnar tonight and cheering Roman, that it was all planted in the audience to get Roman over. I was like, you guys will not give that man any type of props at all. And as a fan, a fellow fan, I'm like ashamed, man. Alright, Nip says somebody on Avid Expert insults me because I said I don't want to see the garbage RE7 Chris in another game. Yeah, you know, He like even Avid Expert is playing devil's advocate. He know he didn't like that game that much. He even said it in nicer words. He's a gentleman. It's that I guess it's the English in him that makes him a gentleman. So he's not gonna really bash it as hard as he wants to because he knew the game wasn't that good. He even put out stuff before where he said that Capcom really rushed this game. They jettisoned it from being 60 something percent complete to 100% complete. And then when we got the final product, you look back and realize Avid Expert was absolutely correct about that. They rushed the game on purpose. And then they wanted to, and then they made you wait for DLC. Like you telling me, yo, everything, not a hero, and Ender Zoe could have all fit into one game at the same fucking time. And yes, it wouldn't be the first time that Resident Evil changed characters. I mean, hell, you fucking change characters right now in the campaign. When Ethan gets captured, where they purposely don't show his face for like, which is stupid to me, you play as Mia, all right? And then you switch back to Ethan once she wakes him up or something and gets him out of there. It then at the end of that, it could have been a point where, you didn't have to fight Evelyn right away. It could have, I mean, or you could have fought Evelyn and stuff, but you could have saved that from a different point in the game, and you could have had Chris come in and you take over and you play as Chris. You know what would have been a dope game, a part of the game, if you really wanted to do it like that? See Ethan fighting giant Evelyn and stuff, and you, even though you still throw the gun to him and things, you have him wound Evelyn with the Albert gun, and then the perspective switches. Like, you thought she's dead, and then next thing you know, she moves again, and she starts getting up, and she grabs Ethan again, and then the camera switches to Chris, and then you're on a helicopter trying to give Ethan the assist, shooting down the creature. And once you take down Evelyn for good, you could have zipline down from the helicopter, took off your helmet. But instead of seeing it from Ethan's perspective, we would see it from Chris's perspective, and we'll see Ethan on the ground injured, and and he's tending to him and stuff like, my name's Redford. That's how they should have started. I mean, that's how they could have did that. And then you could have putting him on the helicopter, seeing him off, and like, look, Ethan, go there, we'll treat you, we'll get you better. We'll treat you and your wife and stuff. This is our fight. This is my fight now. I'll find Lucas. And then you continue on playing as Chris for a while. And then after you find Lucas and you take him down, you get word about Zoe and stuff. And then you go on to that. And that been chapter 2. And you play, like, I don't know, that been chapter 3. Or something, and then it's been one thing. It could have fit all together. Seriously. And if it was up to me, I wouldn't have put, like, the end of Zoe would have been it would have been the second part of Chris's gameplay. I wouldn't have had no Joe Baker in there punching molded and finding voodoo dolls that gave him special abilities. Yes, he was powered by voodoo, and he ate bugs. Yeah. Yes, that's true. He was powered by voodoo. You find dolls in that game that gave you better defense. It gave you more punching power. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. And then you conveniently find a power glove that charge complete. Bow. Are you fucking kidding me? No. They just want to be like, oh, fuck it. And the fans are playing this game. Oh my god, this is so scary. This is the greatest thing ever. This is the best Resident Evil ever. And I'm like, are you joking? Are you fucking joking? And then Capcom gets mad and blames the poor sales of Resident Evil 7 on the old school fans. Blame it on the fact that you made a piss poor game. Yeah, that Power Glove was beyond retarded. Like, beyond retarded. Retarded. Like, I can't believe that was just left around in the game. Like, why didn't Ethan find that? Or why? Who brought that there? Who from Blue Umbrella just brings a Power Glove there and leaves it in a case? And which person on the team was going to use that? Was that for Chris? Yeah, it was a return to roots, alright. Weed roots. Weeds that needed to be put some zap out on that shit. You know, I can't. But I've gone on too long about this. But I really gotta go to bed, people. I went on for almost 40 minutes. But I really gotta go to bed, y'all. So, I will see y'all soon. I got my microphone. Yeah, and Jake Mueller, you're absolutely right. They left a lot of, and Total Impact Gaming, they left a lot of unanswered questions. And I don't think they're going to answer them correctly. Like, there's so many other branches of story from Revelations 1 and 2 that they could have touched on and everything, and they didn't. They could have continued that. 7 could have been a character that we haven't seen in a long time, having something to do with it. Hell, I've been happy if they brought back Ark Thompson from Survivor. Like, he was friends with Leon. Why we haven't seen Ark Thompson again? Something like that. I don't see no fucking Ethan. This dude, one more thing I gotta say. He was a fucking idiot. Ethan's an idiot. You telling me your wife been dead for 3 fucking years legally, and you get a message from her, and you don't. And I said this in my video a couple months ago, and you don't send the cops along with you. You go there by yourself to a ran down, rinky-dink backwoods mansion where nobody can hear you fucking scream. But that's. Fuck this game, alright? Thank y'all and stuff, but I gotta go off the bed, y'all. Thank you very much for tuning in and everything, but, whew. Ah, man, that game really shows. Yes, he was a dumbass, but everybody, y'all, see y'all later, alright? Good night, and hopefully, I will bring y'all more good gameplay of God of War, alright? Because, you know, I haven't played it off. I only played what I played. I've only played it on either Twitch or YouTube. So I'm gonna continue on with it because I just found out somebody spoiled you something for me, and now I wanna play to that point so bad. But anyway, y'all, have a good night, y'all. Peace out.